Over at LowEndTalk, we've been following the bizarre story of the HostSolutions Involucration. Yeah, we didn't know what that word meant either. In fact, I don't think the owner of HostSolution, who first used it in this context, knew what it meant either. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's rewind to the beginning. HostSolutions is a provider in Romania who's been posting offers on LowEndTalk for years. The owner, Marius, was famous for ultra-cheap systems that generally had a bit more downtime than most would like, but were kind of the epitome of the low-end offering. That is to say, they were very cheap, you got a lot of resources for your dollar, or I guess for your leu actually, and if you weren't getting 5 nines, that was okay. Now, there have been some bumps and bruises over the years, but honestly, nothing that was crazy or out of the norm. You paid your money, you understood what you were buying, everyone was happy. Then, in mid-May of this year, a thread opened on LowEndTalk concerning some court filings in Romania, which appeared to show that HostSolutions owed a lot of money to its upstream network provider. A week went by as people poured into the thread reporting that their VPS at HostSolution was down. Now, on May 22nd, Marius posted that on May 12th, one of their NetApp servers with 3,000 clients was lost. They had 400 12 terabyte hard drives, but had only been able to recover about 50 of them. And replacing these hard drives was proving expensive due to the Chia mining driven hard drive shortage. He said he'd be back Monday with more news, and that would have been the 24th of May. Now, Marius's English has always been a little dicey, though to be fair, it's a lot better than my Romanian. He posted that, quote, "We have found one big storage NetApp with 3,000 clients involucrated in this," unquote. Now, he probably meant involved, but involucrated actually is a word, meaning having an involucre, I think that's how you say that, and the latter means a group of one or more whorls of bracts beneath a flower or flower cluster. Well, now it means a dead hard drive, as seen by its recent entry on Urban Dictionary. This word really has taken on a life of its own. Someone actually has even registered involucrated.com. But back to our narrative. Marius said he'd update the world on May 24th, and the 24th came and went without any response. However, on the 27th, Marius popped back into the thread and said he was having a hard time finding hard drives, but was still working on the problem. Further, he stated that everyone affected could either ask for a refund or receive a year of service for free. And then there was silence. He has not said a word since. However, there have been a few developments. On May 28th, he sent an email to his email list offering new VPSs on Ryzen servers with new deals. This really shocked the community because it appeared that Marius was spending time cranking up new sales instead of taking care of his customers who were out of service. Last week, folks began to notice that some of his IP ranges were no longer being announced. Some say he sold them. Some say he sold them and then leased them back. But one person not saying anything is Marius. Oh, and then in the middle of this, he traveled back in time to May 12th. He posted an announcement on his site saying that there was a storage downtime, but the Wayback Machine shows that it wasn't there on May 12th, and he obviously post-dated it. So, where are we now? So first of all, the best that I can tell is that he's probably using gray market NetApp gear. Though, to my knowledge, there is no NetApp that has 400 hard drives. They're usually more like 12 or 24 base systems, so he'd need a dozen or more of them to simultaneously blow up. And second, in my experience, and the experience of others, getting scrambled data is very possible. In other words, a logical issue, but flat out frying hard drives and mechanically destroying them is very unlikely. Is it possible? Well, sure. A woman in 1954 was lying on her couch in Alabama and was hit by a meteor. So anything is possible, but is it likely? If he'd said, look, data's lost, but I reprovisioned your systems with blank space, that would have made more sense. Or even, the hard drive bays, the controllers have blown, but I'm going to get some new chassis and put the drives into them. Maybe, but losing 400 hard drives just seems a bit difficult to swallow. And then on top of this, there's all this financial funny business. His financial dispute with a network provider, selling his IPs, and trying to get some quick sales from a new promotion. It all sounds like a struggling business that's desperate to raise funds. Now, personally, I wish the best for Marius. He's been fun to interact with over the years, and I remember years ago when he posted pictures on LowEndTalk of his wedding. We interviewed him on LowEndBox, and he really seems like a good guy. I don't think he's intentionally scamming anyone, but something bad's happened, and he's not doing his company any favors by ignoring rule number 1 of damage control: be open and transparent. The community is pretty forgiving, and I don't think anyone expects Amazon EC2 level reliability out of HostSolutions, but ignoring customers and failing to communicate has burned all but the last vestiges of his goodwill. Now, if you know more, please comment below or join us on LowEndTalk to discuss. In the meantime, we invite you to visit us at LowEndBox and LowEndTalk, where we have fantastic deals on hosting, in-depth technical content, hilarious memes and cartoons, views and interviews from hosting industry leaders, and our famously spirited discussion. Stop by today, and until next time, happy hosting.